Papercut magazine. So tell me a little bit about your new album that you just released and a little bit about some of the songs that are on there.
Okay, so it's my first album ever. It's got 6 tracks. It opens up with a sort of industrial style track that's got some electric violin and vocals, and yeah, that sounds kind of personal, but the second track is sort of a song that I've had on the internet for a while. It's called "To Touch Upon Request." I guess you could say it's kind of like my first real single. It's sort of a song of sexual frustration. The third track is sort of like questioning the sort of game of life, like people trying to pretend to be mature or pretend to understand love or experiences, but there's only so much you can really grasp. It's like all concepts. The fourth and fifth tracks are both kind of about regaining self-identity. I had gone through a relationship that sort of destroyed my sense of who I was, and I just needed to sort of be like, who am I? Like, I want to live my life, I want to be self-aware, make my own decisions, stuff like that. And since all of those tracks were so like personal and human, I wanted to have a track that was more, I'm like a huge space nerd. I'm really into astronomy, like the meteorite that recently came into atmosphere above Russia. I'm just like, oh my god, it's so exciting. It's like totally my thing. But so the last track, Never Beam Again, is my, it's kind of a depressing track, I guess, but it's about the story of the last star, I guess, and it's burning out, and it describes like that it's reflecting off of the remains of the rest of the universe, kind of.
So do you write all of the songs?
Yeah, everything is me.
Very cool. So what is kind of like your favorite track on the song? Because they seem like they're really different.
Yeah.
You have like a few. Is there like one, like if you could only play like one song for like a show, which one would you choose like right off the bat?
It'd probably be To Touch Upon Request. For whatever reason, it seems to be the catchiest. Like I think it's the easiest to identify with because it's, sometimes I really like to use words a lot. I'm interested in like writing in a more poetry style, but To Touch Upon Request, it was really just raw. Like I was just writing it and the lyrics sort of came out. There aren't a whole lot of lyrics, but it's more like the whole point of the song is really just the feeling of frustration. Like I just want to like, I need a connection right now is basically what it was.
So, tell me a little bit about the show you just did in LA. What was the crowd like? Have you played there before? Was it your first time?
So the show that I played was in Santa Monica, which is one of the parts that I personally like in LA. It was interesting. It was an okay crowd considering it was actually the same night as Grammys. I was impressed. I thought that there'd be like no one there because it was Grammy night, but there were people there. And it was cool. The venue is cool. It's called Trip. And they seem to be really like accepting of bands from out of town. There was another band that was from Seattle that was doing like a little West Coast tour. And other than that, I played in the desert in California back in October for a little music conference. It was called the Interfusion Music Summit. That was pretty crazy because I was on the stage outside. It was like over 100 degrees. And
in October.
Yeah, and in the distance you could see like these desert mountains. It was probably one of the craziest shows I've played.
That's awesome though. You get like kind of like both, like best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna like? What do you have planned for today? It's kind of like shorter intervals.
Yeah.
Songs. Are you gonna play like a few tracks for your new album? Do you have it like planned out? Or?
Yeah, so tonight's the Rompetition run by Unregular Radio. I think each band plays roughly 15 minutes. So I'm going to play a couple tracks from, most of the tracks will be from my new EP, although I have this violin track called Galaxies. It's a dubstep track, and it's free online already. It's been free since Halloween, I think. But it's sort of like, I think it's my main crowd pleaser because I really shred out on the violin. So I'm definitely playing that tonight.
Very cool. So, do you have anything in store for the future that you want to tell the readers about, and maybe where they can kind of follow you to find out more news and updates?
Yeah, so I have a lot of things that are really up in the air right now. It's hard because for my day job, I'm planning, I have to travel a little bit. I might be going to Europe, but this is exciting. I don't know if I'll get to do any music stuff there. That'd be like the dream, but yeah, so I have a lot of things in the works. I may or may not be working on a music video soon, which is very exciting for me because I'm very into the visual thing.
Do you know what track you'll be making it for?
It most likely will be my last track, Never Beam Again. Yeah, so that's already in plans. I've been talking with a videographer that's interested in doing it, so hopefully soon. But yeah, if you want to keep up to date with what I'm doing, I'm pretty good at updating my Facebook, which is facebook.com/MEI_OHARA_music. So that's Mei_Ohara_music. That's my name. I also have a .com website, meiohara.com. Yeah, those are probably the main spots for me.
Okay, thank you so much for being here.